Hi everybody, just Austin here, and just said I'd make this little video about following a summer from which in which we've had, an awful lot of festivals around the country, and particularly festivals like Féile na Pobal in Belfast. Even things like the Electric Picnic, where we've seen a certain eulogizing and romanticization of the Troubles, and particularly of some of the people that committed many murders on behalf of in particular, the IRA. I'm solely focusing on the IRA because obviously what they did to my family has a particular resonance with me. And, I have told my story in my book, Justice for My Father. And I'd like young people maybe who are listening to the rhetoric and listening to the podcasts of some of the former terrorists and why they did what they did. I'm asking those people to approach with an open mind, read my book. I tell the story about a loving community man from Portlaoise in the Republic of Ireland, a man that was, centre of his community. He was a boxing referee, was a GAA referee, having refereed Leinster football finals, and was an international boxing judge and referee, secretary of his boxing club. Contributed so much to his community. And, he was murdered by the IRA. He wasn't a combatant. He wasn't involved in any war. He was an ordinary community man who happened to be chief officer in Portlaoise prison during the Troubles. He joined the prison service. To serve his community, to serve his country. He didn't do it in any way, shape, or form to be involved in what Sinn Féin or the IRA or ex-terrorists would term, to be involved in some war, or to be, they would try to frame things in nice flowery language and say that, call their people ex-combatants, which means then that the people that they took on or that they murdered were in some way combatants. And my dad never held a gun in his life. He hated guns. And there is a certain attempt to change the narrative of the Troubles, and that's very worrying and very concerning. And they present people, the older terrorists, as being kind of cuddly grandfather types who tell their war stories and say that we had no alternative. But there was an alternative. John Hume and his people were the alternative to civil rights abuses. And, what? Why was there no alternative but to shoot my dad in the back of the head as he walked down the South Circular Road, having come out from the National Boxing Finals? That's a question young people should interrogate. And I'm just saying to young people, there is, a certain attempt to radicalize younger people into thinking that the Troubles were all came about because there was no alternative. But during the Troubles, I'd ask people to bear one thing in mind, that at electoral time, Sinn Féin, who were the mouthpiece of the IRA at the time, did not gain any traction in Northern Ireland. The nationalist people of Northern Ireland did not vote for Sinn Féin during the Troubles. And I need people to understand that. And I'm asking people, if you want to know about the Troubles, if you want to know about the history of what went on, and yes, I'm asking people to be open-minded. I'm asking you to read books. I'm asking you to read, books from different sides, and and to make your own mind up. There was a recent book about GA people that were murdered during the Troubles. That book did not include profiles of people like my dad, who were and some of the Gardaí that were murdered during the Troubles by the IRA. And there was a very strategic reason for that. It's because they want to present a certain narrative. So I would say to people, yes, read books like that. Yes, read books by all sides. But I'm saying to you is, if you want to have a look at a balanced view on what went on in the Troubles from a Southern nationalist. I'm a nationalist. My dad was a nationalist. Republicans, we believe in a 32 county Ireland, but we don't believe in taking it by force. We don't believe in murder of innocent people. We don't believe, and we still don't believe, my family doesn't believe in the likes of killing babies in Warrington and, disappearing people. And so that's our perspective. But if you want to know the truth about the Troubles, I'm asking you to go out and purchase a copy of my book and make your own mind up. Thank you.